political tactics. He wanted independence from Ife, which was refused. He took the Sheshefun Orolu crown of Ilobu to establish the Oyo Kingdom and later Oyo Empire. Oyo Kingdom people were described by the northern invaders as Yarbawa, adulterated to Yoruba, because they were children of Bawa to Oramiyan. Since quite a sizable number of our people went into slavery through Oyo Empire, the name Yoruba became more pronounced. Prior to this time, Usen was the earlier known names of the people who lived in these areas, as represented by the skeleton discovered at the Ihueleru at Ayetoro near Akure area of present-day Ondo state of Nigeria. They were scientifically dated to 11,000 BC. One can still find relics of the name either as names of places, people, or objects in different parts of the land, including Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Lagos, Ekiti, Edo, Delta, Anambra, etc. We have Uselu in Benin, which is Usen. You have Uselu in Kogi. We have Usen, the Legushen of, just like my brother in Lagos, Ikate. So the name still persists. At a stage 2, Ugbo was the name used for people in this tropical rainforest, which spread throughout the west, central, east, and northern parts of southern Africa. In history, there was an empress, Shugo, who ruled the Ugbo Empire. Scientific dating by Professor Alabi of the University of Ibadan of artifacts found in the defensive moat Eredo Shugo that spanned more than 200 kilometers circumference around the headquarters of the Empress of the Empire were dated to pre-1800 BCE. Since there were no machines, the human dog moat has been classified as the most wonderful hand-done construction work on earth. Empress Shugo was reputed to have traveled to the Middle East to marry King Solomon of Judah, had a child for him, planned to unify the empire by which planned to unify the Ethiopia by which the whole of Africa was then known, and which she ruled. Ethiopia was named after River Ethiopia, by which River Niger was known as at its delta. And they tried to unify both Solomon's kingdom of Judah and Ethiopia. The elders of Judah rejected the idea. Empress Shugo came back home with his child, made the son king to the east of the empire, where we now call Abyssinia, while she came back to the west of the land, where she lived, died, and was buried at Okieri, near Ijebu-Ode, because tradition has it that when the son became a king, the mother may not live with him again. This may sometimes be to the extreme of letting the mother die. This tradition is still practiced in Ugoland, e.g. in Benin, when the mother never sees the Oba again after coronation, but goes to live in Uselu. That is in Benin. By the time the Portuguese came in 1420s, these people were called Eku or Ekun because of the way they greeted. Ekun, Ekun, Okun. If you are the senior, you are greeting the junior, you say Okun. If you are the junior, you are greeting the senior, you say Ekun, the plural. Now, insecurity in this area may be traced to the 7th century migration of Oduduwa into the area, as written by A. Matthew in the book Kistra Legend. After the Battle of Badri in 642 AD, between magician King Kisra, who with his allies fought Muhammad and his jihadists, but the king lost the war in 624 AD. And Oduduwa and his allies moved westward into Africa and was said by Samuel Johnson in History of Yoruba to have founded many kingdoms and ruling dynasties along the migration, such as Kanuri, Yauri, Achipu, Jonkun, Bogu, etc., whose founding ancestors were said to be brothers. Now, with the present situation in Nigeria, this country, it seems that if not for the establishment of the constitutional state of Nigeria, history was about to repeat itself. The type of migration which successfully occurred in 624 AD institutionalized Oduduwa and his group, which replaced the indigenous people's leadership, and was going to happen in 1300 AD, but was stopped by Oromiyan Omoluabi Odede, and was attempted in the 1790s by Othman Danfodio, but was stopped in 1806. Is what is happening with the herdsmen marauding in these early years of 2000s AD. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question I want Gazday to answer, which they should be answering, are we sure we are not dealing with Oduduwa's cousins? Two, are we sure we should be talking of Oduduwa or Usen Republic or a united Nigeria? This is intellectual work for Gazday. Yoruba had been trading the kola nut with the Mediterranean, and there was this book of history by somebody who said that kola nut was grown in Kano. I said, no, it's growing in my place. So because they buy from us, take it to the Kano market, and from the Mediterranean, they get it there. So, just like Prof said, our people went into diasporas through slavery. Although some are going through modern slavery now. But those that went through false slavery, there are so many of them, and they still see themselves Yorubas. And you go to their markets, what amazed me was in Barbados, this market is just like Ogwepo. The same thing, the kind of counter we use, everything is just the same. So it means that what is most important in this, I see things I interpret all these things I'm quoting. I'm sure most of my professors had read it in Johnson, in Matthew, everything. But our interpretation had been different. We should start interpreting things in a way to show that, like we have, somebody said about honoring our heroes. We have heroes. Oramiyan Odede was a hero because it was him that stabilized the northwestern border of what we now call Yoruba land. So many different heroes like that. So we should stop looking at ourselves from the perspective of outsiders and then appreciate ourselves. Let us know that nobody is above any mistake. Don't let us see ourselves from our mistakes. Let us see ourselves from our positive angles. Once we rediscover ourselves, we find that it will be very easy for us to tell ourselves that, look, like in the Federal Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, amended, it said that there are English, there are some Nigerian languages that could be used as national language. So why are we insisting that it is only English that you should pass before you can go to higher institution? I'm sure if today they say you must pass Yoruba, that is your local language, before you go to our institution, we are going to have all our parents say, are you Yoruba Dada? But now they tell me it is not important because they don't use it to move anywhere. So the currency that our language forms is doing. Let us now put value to our language, the currency of our language. That would then blaming Obas for entertaining people in languages they understand. It is not only in Yoruba land. My friend is the Emir of Kano, Sanusi II. He will speak your language to you, because that is to respect that person. But if there were mechanisms for an interpreter, like all my children, nobody speaks, even the standard Yoruba that everybody speaks, nobody speaks it to me. You must speak Ode. If you want anything, you know, everybody speaks it. So, but we parents should encourage that, and we should learn. And like Abesi said, Ifa is a compendium of knowledge. It is not religion. And as a matter of fact, both Christianity and Islam are religions based on Judaism. Judaism is based on what Abraham did, that sacrifice. And that sacrifice after Abraham, and what do we call meteorites? Yeah, Ogo. So that means both Muslims and Christians are Shogo followers. Because if anybody wants to doubt me, tell any chief imam or any imam that when he's going to Eid to go and slaughter the ram, the stone is going to slaughter the ram on, where did he get it from? Then, when you say Akoti Eri, that the church, Ark of Covenant, it is meteorites. So what are we talking about? So if you are telling me that somebody is Onishango, Olorisha, how about Oni Abrahamic? Please. Hey, Joe.
Kabiyesi, we thank you very much. Thank you very much for the exposition that you have been able to give in this area. I will give Professor Adeleke just 2 minutes because what they are trying to say is that Yoruba, our relationship with the other world, the knowledge that we have, the skills that we have, the competencies that we have, our culture, how do we relate with the other world? That's it. We cannot live within ourselves. Already we are far away. How do allow people to see us as a nation within a nation? And how do we relate with the people of the other world? Professor Adeleke, I'll give you just 2 minutes to be able to round up this session. Thank you.
Now, the trust of this paper is identity. You, Yoruba, and the outside world. What we've contributed. And it's a pity that some of our Obas, they seem not to know history. Just recall Aji episode. That's an issue. In that paper, I agree with you that Yarubawa, this Hausa, Tail, whatever. But according to Adiagba Akinjogbin, Yoruba will not take lightly the issue of being referred to as Yaro. A boy. Yara for the girl. So we are not. So, and in that template again, Gasid should have a space for the Obas where they should come and learn history. Ẹnìkan ìbíyẹ ló fọ́jú àbí ẹran ìbíyẹ ló fọ́jú tí wọ́n fi sọ pé gbogbo aráàlú yẹn ló fọ́jú or whatever. Apart from that, sir, an assignment for GASID is this: approach the National Assembly, Osun State House of Assembly, that want to interpret Osun State day-to-day business, the law, so that everybody in Osun State will know about it. Our oral laws, ẹsẹ̀fá, orin etí-yẹrí, àlọ́, collect across the dialect areas of Yoruba, instead of allowing our children to be watching Disney what? So you have an assignment to do, and you are. Then I've said something about floating courses which are capital oriented, not that we give you capital resources. The issue of urban medicine. If you make drugs within Osun State University, people would like to buy that rather than going to the road or to just consult anybody. Finally, about naming, about Oriki, collect Oriki of Ilu to Ilu, collect Oriki of Agbole. That will allow the people in diaspora to trace their roots. Thank you very much. Ẹni sọ lẹ́nu ó ṣàkóyàkọ́ ire o.
Thank you very much. This the brilliant discussion, the brilliant session that we have all seen. That we must be able to look back. Okay, we must be able to look back at our history, our culture, and be able to look at what is good in it and be able to project to the world. I am proud. Ọmọ àlè yẹn ni ó fi ọwọ́ òsì júwèé lé bàbá rẹ̀. Àbí? When we were young, there are a lot of things that we learn from our parents. And those things that we learn from our parents are part and parcel of us. And those things that we learn have been able to stay with us as the Ọmọlúwàbí philosophy. Òtítọ́ sísọ, as to speak the truth. Bravery, akikanju, you should be able, yes, you'll be able to do that. Then you should be able to learn how to relate with other people. Be kind to people around you. You must be able to find a way to be able to show to the world that this man is somebody that can relate with any other person of mind where he's coming from. When I was young, when we lived with our mother, sometimes the women, they will be fighting among themselves. Kíni gbégédé gbégédé gbégédé, kíni gbégédé gbégédé gbégédé, kíni gbòǹgbò tàdí mẹ́yìn gbẹ́sẹ̀ lọ́ọ́rí fọrùn lọ́ọ́rí, tó dégbà ńlá tó lára, tó gòkè odò tó níyẹn kan, tó ṣàyà sàárà gàgà bí ọba Kòsóà. The other woman will return, will reply. Will reply the woman, hey, èmi náà ni o. Well, because of time, because they are yes, because of, in other words, the woman will reply, and somebody will have to come and say, Mama, balẹ̀ ìjẹ́, àwọn ọmọ yín, wọ́n máa wò yín, kí lẹ fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yín ọkọ lójú. So what I'm saying in essence is, we must look at that we use. We must be able to use it to develop our culture, which is very, very enriching and that we are proud of. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí bí sọmọ bòmí. Tó Ajímẹ̀fà láṣẹ díẹ̀ ló lè ń bí Ọlọ́run ọba ràn á lọ dé ní. Kábíyèsí, mo lérò pé a ti gbìyànjú ká máa lọ sáyè wa. Ẹ ṣé o. Kò sáyè béèrè, wọ́n ti ń juwọ́ sí mi. Kò sáyè béèrè mọ́. Ẹ ṣé o. Thank you very much. To our Babas, Kábíyèsís, Kádé pẹ́ lórí o, bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ á dókínní o. Àwọn olórí náà wọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ní jáwọ́ nínú iṣẹ́ ìbí. Káàfin lè máa kún sí, kọ́mọ ọba lè máa pọ̀ sí láàrin ìlú. Kábíyèsí o. Towards the end of the program, and we're moving into the last session. And this session, you're used to having 4 people. Now you will see 5 people. And this will be the most interesting part of the sessions. And after that, I will give an announcement or couple. Then we continue again with our lives. Continuation in the sense that we will take the discussion beyond this Olagunsoye Oyinlola's auditorium, now into the bigger society. Then we will reconverge at a date we will announce again, so that we harvest your views from the interactions from the world. We started locally, we ended with the world. For those who may be aware or who may not be, we circulated the streaming on YouTube live as the program was going on. And if you like to check what happened yesterday to the end of today, just go into YouTube, type Osun State University. You see the list of activities, then click on Gas Day. And then at your leisure, you can see yourself when you wave to the world. Or if you chose not to wave, there's still minutes to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're closing. No, not closing. We're winding down. Please, enough of waving. Don't wave at me. For this session, I'd like to call on Professor Labo Popola, Vice Chancellor of Osun State University, to please come up to the podium, sir.
I also like to call on Professor Wale Adetimirin to join the Vice Chancellor, sit close to him on the same seat. Thank you. Professor Bijiofo Ajinam, please, up on the podium, sir. Professor Biodun Alao, to represent the Governing Council, stepped out, will join us while this session is going on. Uniquely, I'd like to call on Mr. Oluwatosin Adewale, MSc Biochemistry student, to join the table up here. It has never happened before. When, please do it, do it, do it. Thank you. We've broken all the ceilings, whether glass, concrete, leaves, cloud. You can see the heavens now. Look up. This is the wrap-up session, and these gentlemen and woman, I won't say lady. We are gender sensitive in the academy, so she's still a woman. So they'll be wrapping up with remarks, and then there'll be some honoring, a little bit, maybe one, maybe two, and then we move towards closing the program after discussion. After the announcements. Thank you, Professor Alao. The job for this panel is not to, you won't have 15 minutes because that will be too long. Max, 5 minutes each to just tell us your view of the program and how everything has been. I will start with Mr. Adewale. Professor Alao, after Mr. Adewale, so from this extreme to the other extreme. Professor Akinwusi, after Professor Alao. Professor Aginam, after Professor Akinwusi. Then Professor Wale Adetimirin, after Professor Aginam. Then Professor Kukwala, the Vice Chancellor, will cap it off. For obvious reasons, you know why. Thank you. Mr. Adewale.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. To our royal fathers in the house, I abuse you. We greet you, sirs. My highly distinguished Vice Chancellor, I have nothing much to say. My Ogasa, Professor Obi from United Nations, my mother in the house, I can't recall the name, my father from King's College, and my daddy seated here. It's a very great pleasure standing in front of everyone here. I will not take this opportunity for granted. Well, what do I have to say? I've not even started a career yet. What do I have to say? From the very beginning of this program yesterday. Well, I sat down up there in the hall, and I made sure that from the beginning to the last presentation here, even to the closing, I made sure I didn't go out of that venue. Why? In my life, in my little time on this earth, I've never been exposed to such volume of knowledge. Not just okay, I did my BSc biochemistry here. Okay, biochemistry, came back for MSc. Whatever you are being taught in university must be streamlined in direction of what you are doing. But when I came here yesterday, different professors, distinguished in their various fields, coming together. In fact, I think only God in heaven has inspired this wisdom through our Vice Chancellor. And I want everybody to stand up and give him a round of applause. Please let us all stand up and rise. You have to give honor to whom honor is due. Let's clap for God. Let's clap for him. God bless you, sir. And please, you may be seated. My final closing remark. I really like how our royal fathers, that's our lead paper 10, Yoruba and the world, and our daddy from University of Ibadan, Professor Duro Adeleke, gave a very sound note on the Yoruba culture and the world entirely. Yoruba, they are one of the most intelligent people on earth. Though people always argue that the Israelis, the Jews, are the most intelligent people on earth. But I've discovered something. The white man, when he comes nearer to Yoruba man, he always pick one or two things, as if he has never heard of it before. So please, concerning that Yoruba aspect of our culture and how important even the whites see us, please, I want Gazi to work on it. And please, for God's sake, any student in UNIOSUN that has not attended this program, because this program registration was free, it was announced everywhere. They have missed a lot of things. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
God bless you, Mr. Adewa. So when you call talk, they change the microphone. Short man would have to address, then the microphone will make noise. What is the meaning of the noise? Grow tall. Unfortunately, my bone has stopped growing. Don't look for my trouble. Professor Biodun, allow please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I was actually wondering what qualifies me to talk, but I was later informed that I'm speaking on behalf of the Governing Council. So in that case, I think let me just say that I represent here the chairman of the Governing Council, Malam Yusuf Olaolu at the SAL. Let me say that without any shadow of doubt, this has been an hugely successful meeting. Honestly, and this is no flattery, I don't have any recollection of having attended a conference as hugely successful as this in recent times. And even at the risk of being arrogant, I can say that I've attended few conferences. So this is hugely successful. And on behalf of the Governing Council, I want to say thank you and well done to our Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much indeed. I would be remiss if I don't say one or two things about the new center that has been established. This is where the future of the world is. Many people may not realize it. Africa is now fast becoming the centerpiece of knowledge and of production in the entire world. So for a center like this, for an institute like this, to be established at Osun State University,
something that is of tremendous importance. And I think we have to congratulate the Vice Chancellor and his team for coming up with this important initiative. What is important, far more than anything, is knowledge. I always tell my children that, children of nowadays, money and everything. And I say, knowledge is more important than money. Because you have to look after money, whereas knowledge looks after you. So, that is why the pursuit of knowledge, such as the one we have under this initiative, is something that is extremely commendable and something that we must and we will definitely support. Once again, I think in a kind of way I wear a double hat as a member of the governing council and also as someone who works outside. Let me say that I'm sure the council will support this initiative, and in my individual capacity, I promise that I will do my best to link this new institute with many institutions, including King's College London. Thank you very much.
I said it a while ago. We started local, then we went worldwide. Now we are going global. The first word. So we won't say gas. When you just hear global, it's UNIOSUN. Professor Akinwusima.
Good afternoon. I like to appreciate the Vice Chancellor and the management team of this university. I appreciate people who have traveled from far and near to grace the occasion, especially Professor Aginam. This particular program, when we started seeing it on our social media in UNIOSUN, we didn't know it was going to be something of this magnitude. And at the end of the day, what we have seen here in the past 2 days is really unimaginable. To say the least, the energy issue, that is a problem that has bedeviled Nigeria for long. We sorted out inside this hall. It's like you are in US or UK. Electricity was steady throughout the period. So I think we are on the right track, and we can do much more to improve the university. I was in OAU May this year, that is last month, for alumni reunion, and the Vice Chancellor said before the end of this year, OAU will be generating our own electricity, and they will have extra 2 megawatts that they will release to the national grid. So various institutions in Nigeria are moving ahead in various areas, in various fields, and they are making their mark. So we too must make our mark somewhere. And I think this gas deal that has come to stay is going to be a permanent thing that is really going, that is going to shore up the academic activities and recognition of this institution globally. A lot of challenges have been thrown at the center today, and it is my belief that the acting director of the center is up to the task, and he will do a lot vis-a-vis suggestions that people have made to him. I want to solicit for the cooperation of members of this community. Anytime you are called upon to do one thing or the other in that place, let's cooperate with them and ensure that this program does not die, is sustainable. Somebody asked the question whether GASD will be sustainable. So let us agree together as Osun State University community that GASD is sustainable. Thank you so much. God bless you.
I'm very sure he has not been used this much. If he has to travel this far, but take us as you see us. Yeah? That's one issue. We want your comments, from a representation of Nigeria from the globe. We've got one mixed sort of. So, yes, Professor Aginam.
I think everything that needs to be said about the Vice Chancellor has not just been said. Those things have been very well said about his dedication and hard work and resilience. So I join those who have spoken before me to congratulate him for this wonderful initiative. There are a few things I want to reflect on within the 5 minutes that I have, but I want to start from the point made by my sister, the last speaker, about the need to give the Vice Chancellor and the management team support, the support that they need. I've had a lot of Vice Chancellors who are my friends, very close friends, not just in Nigeria, but in so many other countries. And I listen to them, and sometimes I think that it's one of the worst, the most difficult jobs, for anybody to do. Everybody's headache is a headache. Promotion, sabbatical, recruitment, everybody's, headache becomes the Vice Chancellor's headache, including the headache of the students. Something doesn't work on campus, it's the Vice Chancellor that has caused it. So please, I know there is faculty politics everywhere. University professors are not the best when it comes to cooperating with management. But for purposes of this beautiful bride called GASD, I would personally, implore, ask you to give your Vice Chancellor the maximum cooperation to get this, this baby, towards standing up and walking and running, and possibly outpacing the other institutes and centers that are doing similar issues, facing similar issues. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is that they're saying that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. That's the very first step. Okay. And everybody's not so sure. Are we going to make it? Are we going to have turbulence? An aircraft takes off, and the pilot warns, that there might be turbulence, when it takes off. That's normal. If it takes off, there's a few turbulence, and it stabilizes, and it goes, thousands of kilometers and lands safely. So that's the experiment that has just started today with this inaugural workshop, a symposium. I have no doubt from the quality of the presentations and the presence of eminent people that graced these 2 days of very enriched debate and discussion, that this journey is going to end smoothly. Just like a plane takes off, there's a few turbulence and then it lands safely. I think we will land safely in a safe destination. The other thing I want to talk about is when I was asked to come here, I was thinking, where do I pitch, what I'm going to say? And I thought about, can we do let's think about some third world approaches. Let's, globalization from below, bottom up, whatever you call it. Okay? And it's really very, very important. And that's where I think, this institute needs to build, to find a niche for itself. First, what are those homegrown perspectives that we can actually, refine, debate, reformulate, transform to call it, our own. Okay? We had a very good debate about this yesterday. And I've lived my life in Asia now for close to 10 years, and I've traveled extensively in the region. The Malaysians have done it, okay? The Japanese development, whatever it is, the Asians are very good in taking something that, has been out there, they adapt it to their own local circumstances, and it becomes innovative, okay? That's the challenge. So let's sit down in the next couple of years to think about how to do this in the context of development issues in Africa. The other point I would want to make, to add a voice to what Allow said, a member of the council, about trying to build partnership with King's College and some other places that he may have very good contacts. I've been with the United Nations University for 10 years now, and the key mission, mandate of the UN University is to build capacity for all sorts of issues in developing countries. The second issue on the mandate is to build partnership, to serve as a bridge between the United Nations and the international academic community. And what this means is that, we can actually, set up joint workshops, capacity building for research, with universities around the world, especially in developing countries. And this is where I think I want to pledge that I will use the contacts that I have, within the UNU system. We have 14 research institutes in 12 different countries, and each of these research institutes is working on an aspect of development, whether it's health or water or climate change. They are located in 12 different countries. I would like to ask the Vice Chancellor and his team that if there's any time you want any of those kind of partnerships, I would be very, very happy to facilitate that. Most times we always talk about money. People talk about money as if money is important. We need money to feed, to do a lot of things. But I think the way the world is going, ideas can actually give you money eventually. So we will be interested in getting credible ideas, suggestions, proposals for partnerships, for capacity building. Unfortunately, we are not a funding agency. The UNU cannot give you, a funding, but they can help you to identify the sources where the money can come from. They can help you to shape ideas as a think tank, that will lead to, some sustainable, funding mechanisms. They can help you to, build public-private partnerships that address policy responses or policy gaps, in what governments are doing. And those are the things that actually will give you visibility as a think tank, as a research institute, and as an academic institution in the competitive world of the 21st century. So I'm so happy I am here. I'm happy I came. I'm happy I was able to interact with a lot of people. And I learned a lot. You don't, sometimes you underestimate, what you learn sitting down for 2 days, listening to a lot of perspectives and ideas. Every single day is like a school for us. You go to a session, you learn new things that you never knew before. So I think we, for the young people in the room, one of my bosses when I first joined the United Nations University used to say that all of these things about development is about young people. Okay? Forget about if you are 50 in this room, the world is, moving, okay? You have to think about the young people. They are the ones who are going to make the change. They are the ones who are going to, all of this talk about sustainable development, they're the ones who are going to make things happen. All the innovations that would lead to the breakthroughs will be led by young people. So I thank some of them who actually came in here. I was watching when I was talking yesterday. They sat quietly. You think they don't listen or they're not following, but they do. Because some of them came out and asked questions. They were following me and asking questions, and I get a lot of very interesting perspectives. So GASD, please, whatever you do, place young people at the center of your programs. Okay? Place young people at the center of your program. That is what sustainable development is all about. In conclusion, I would want to again, thank the VC and his team, and I look forward to building very solid partnerships between GASD and not just the UN university institutes, but with all the institutes that I'm affiliated with in Tokyo, at the University of Tokyo. The VC knows, about the program that we have in Tokyo with a team like Professor Karichi and all those people. I'm still very much working with them as a visiting professor. So if you need to do anything with the institute at the University of Tokyo, I can help you to reach out to those people. And also in Canada, we also hold an adjunct research professorship at Carleton University. We have an Institute of African Studies. Okay? So all of these partnerships all over the place, we need to harness them. We need to harness them. There's always something that can come out from the East, the West, the African institutions as well. So the key word is partnership. GASD can't do it alone. They can't do it by yourself. There's a competitive world out there. There's a lot of research institutes competing for funding, competing for attention, competing for everything. But if you build the right partnerships, then you are going to make a solid mark. So I'm pledging my full support to this institute, and I will do whatever I can to help it grow. Thank you very much.
What can I pledge? I've been pledging since yesterday. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí. I don't know if you will be able to sleep tonight. When you are overjoyed and you've been planning for long, you lose sleep, you lose appetite, then everything comes down well. You would expect that, well, I will sleep tonight. It's not just those who think about things that are not good that loses sleep. When you think about how good things are, you also will lose sleep. But I'm sure there's some part of him that will rest tonight. When he took GASD job, I'm sure the gray on his hair was not this much. But it has multiplied double. Professor Wale Adetimiri, for your short comment. You're welcome.
Let me tell you what the Vice Chancellor just whispered to me. He said, so he's responsible for, this mass of gray hair on my head. Well, I'm going to be very brief because he has asked me that no other person will do the vote of thanks except me, and I accept gladly that is my responsibility. But I'm going to give my overview of how I think that this symposium has turned out. First, let me say that GASD, when you talk of GASD and the name, the originator, the pioneer, the person who has the concept is the Vice Chancellor, Professor Labode Popola. And my position as acting director to create the structure and help to come up with the programs and get things sorted out is to facilitate and make possible that vision. The first thing I think we've been able to do is that from nothing, we have been able to put Gazdi in the consciousness not of Nigerians alone, but of the entire world. As we speak, people now know Gazdi in all the states of the Federation. People know Gazdi in all countries of Africa. People know Gazdi in Europe and North America. People know Gazdi in Asia. And from that very small seed, we have taken, the name of Gazdi to all continents and all countries in a very short time. So, in that context, we have been hugely successful. But let me say that having put the name of Gazdi in the consciousness of everybody, I am not unmindful of the challenges before us. The challenges are enormous. But I have no doubt in my mind that we will rise up to those challenges. And Gazdi that has come will not fade away, but in response to some questions that I had people ask, whether it's going to be sustainable, I affirm that Gazdi is and will be sustained. One keynote speaker, 10 lead speakers, 23 discussants, over 350 people yesterday, about 280 people today. In attendance, as we have here, we have over 250 people still seated. I think our meeting has been hugely successful. Very unique way. So we note all those things. Even if there are things we have missed out, we're going to play the tape all over and listen very carefully. And we are very receptive to your ideas. We do not know it all. So we're going to be asking you to write us, tell us your ideas, how you think in your various units, within UNIOSUN, outside UNIOSUN. You can partner with us. And we will receive your ideas and work with you as much as is possible so that together we can achieve those SDG goals that we set out to achieve. Our charity must begin at home. If we're talking about SDG goals, we are going to have to start impacting the state of Osun, and then the Southwest, and then the entire Nigeria before we can impact the world. So our charity will begin at home. Let me also assure you that we are going to publish the proceedings of this symposium. I have given myself a target of 4 months to do it, and I know that I have the support of the Vice Chancellor. That in 4 months we'll clean up everything, and that we're going to have the proceedings of the symposium. Since the Vice Chancellor has mandated me to give the vote of thanks, I think I'm going to stop here. It's been very hugely successful. The fact that you're all still seated here, affirms that this is successful. I've had very positive comments from people who have come. Some people have left, but they have very good words for us. And in terms of the richness of what we have listened to, quite honestly, I'm seeing certain things in perspectives different from which I've seen them before. And even as acting director of Gazdi, I have been a student in this place. So we're going to have another meeting, where we are going to invite everybody. We expect that it's going to be better than this. And when we call you, we hope that you will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Wale Adetimiri. If he speaks and looks into your eye without baiting, I can tell you where he got that from. Many years ago, many years ago, when I met him, when we saw after many years, I didn't even recognize him. We didn't even know we shared something in common besides Professor Labo Kukwala. When you think you share something in common, you say, yes, Professor Labo Kukwala.
Oh, UI. Says them, no, that's not the common one. Until one day we were just talking and we rambled to that point. I was like, oh my God. Professor Ola Adetimi was the head of school, head boy, Ibadan Grammar School, for his said. Then, that was when I first knew him, but I didn't know. Then we later discovered, almost 2 years ago now, that yes, we were both grammarians, the only school in Nigeria. Government school, government college Ibadan came second after us. Of school, because we must prop up government college Ibadan. You know, after we helped Ibadan Grammar School, helped them a lot, they produced Wale Soyinka and all of them. We didn't care. We didn't care. Okay, I'm not talking again. Serious business now. I deliberately reserved him for the last, not the least. But yes, it will still be last but not the least. Just like Professor Adetimiri will make his second coming, I'm readjusting the program in my head to create a second coming. For today, not in another program. The other program will draw the agenda. We can make it 10 comings. So Professor Lavo Popola, a very impatient man. Impatient, mark my word, with all respect, sir. Impatient. Impatient for achievements. When he sets his mind on an issue, he wants it done like yesterday. So when the guys, the idea came up, it was like, we must kick the ball running, we must kick the ball running. You know, it means a lot. I'm going to call the Vice Chancellor. He had made speeches, he had made comments. An extra moment to make comments again on his assessment of the 2 days. Professor Lavo Popola, Vice Chancellor of Osun State University. Sir.
Kabiyesi's distinguished ladies and gentlemen, every day we learn, and I get to appreciate the importance of relationships. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm happy that Wale reminded me of something. Wale and I, that's Dr. Professor Adetimiri, we come from the same faculty. A couple of years ago, he attended one school like that. Yeah, one school like that, but both of us in Ibadan. One is grammar, one is college. So, but that's not where it stops. Of course, he's an alumnus of the University of Ibadan. Yeah, but we went quite close. I was the sub-dean of the postgraduate program in the Faculty of Agric and Forestry at UI. He took over from me. I didn't know about it. Then I had the privilege of being the vice dean of the postgraduate school at the University of Ibadan. He also became a vice dean of that school. Then somehow I became dean of that school. He worked with me for 1 year as a vice dean. And at the point in time, I discovered that the wife wasn't, she will see me, she won't greet me in the way she used to. And she became quite cold. Then I had to ask, Wale, what's the problem with your wife now? I said, why wouldn't there be problem? You know, we don't close early now. At times, Wale and I will be in the PG school, a secluded area, till 9 p.m., walking. And of course, well, my family has always been in Oshobo, so they know that when I'm gone, I'm gone. But his own wife was living on campus in UI. This man would not come home on time. He wasn't going to the staff club anyway. But what am I trying to say? We became so close. And what was the relationship? Work. Serious business. We had no time for pleasure. And so when I got here, I had some ideas in mind. I thought that we should have a teaching and research farm. And I scanned the environment. I thought we needed someone to assist us from outside. I went to UI to beg him to come. He wasn't willing to come. I begged him. He asked me to give him some time to think about it. He came back to me to say that he wouldn't be able to come to UNIOSUN, the State University. They are too troublesome, they are this, they are that. And I begged a mutual friend of ours, the guy who took over from him as the vice dean at the PG school, Professor Olorun Ishola. I asked him to beg Wale to please join me at UNIOSUN. Eventually, he called me one day and said, okay, well, I'll come. Then when he came, I gave him his task. He delivered. And he said he was going back. I said, oh no, the idea of the Center for Sustainable Development, everybody talks about it, oh, it's Popola's dream, Popola's baby. Yes, very true. But he worked with me very closely on that. And that center has become a global brand today. I said, okay, we need that also at UNIOSUN. Of course, when I discovered that himself and this guy attended one school like that, I knew they were friends, and I told him, please talk to Wale, because Wale said he was going. So I said, okay, go to UI. If I have to speak to the Vice Chancellor to extend your stay, I will do that. Eventually, reluctantly, he accepted. Wale, thank you so very much. You know, he picked up some gray hair, but I also remind him, when I got to the PG school UI, I used to have the whole head with hair. I've lost virtually a bit of it. It's work. So relationship, that's another thing to take home. When I came in, I met Kabiesi talking about the phobia of the elites about their hometown. They don't like going home. It's part of the issues we are going to be taking up in Gazdi. I come from the center of the world, Unisha. Yeah, it's the center of the world. You can interrogate it. It's the center of the world. And I had the privilege to work closely within the community as the chairman of the development union in that place. And during the period, I was able to convince those who had that phobia. They didn't like, I like taking my children home. My children, every one of them, you must go home now. That's the route, wherever you're living. And I always remind them, and other people who didn't like going home, that yes, we have witches in Inisha, but they don't suck blood. They take things like Chivita, Milo, malt, they like turkey. So if you're coming home, buy so much of it. They will not kill you. They also have their own children now, and there's hardly any family that doesn't boast of a graduate now or somebody who is eminent. So please don't stay away from your roots. That you can only have one root. That's the fact. Even if you naturalize somewhere, the truth is that you came from somewhere. So please, the elites, go home. Take your children home. About this symposium, there's a catchphrase for the SDGs, leaving no one behind. And I think this symposium has lived up to that catchphrase. The reality has been here, politicians have been here, trade unions. The veteran trade unionist was here yesterday. The number one trade unionist in Africa was here yesterday. NGOs, then students. So it's like no one has been left behind. And for me, it's a success in a way. After this, what next? What do they add up to? That's the challenge for all of us, not just those who are driving Gazdi. I've had cause to tell some of our colleagues that everybody is Gazdi. Everybody has a stake in it. If you are a scholar and you don't have something to contribute to Gazdi, then you have no business being in the university system. So it's that we all have to nurture and make sure that it lives up to its expectation. I'm very, very convinced that this institute, I have barely 2.5 years or less, I always add or less, to stay in this university. Maximum 2.5 more years, but it can be less for whatever reason, and that's not a big deal. It will survive. SESDEF survived against all odds. People didn't give us a chance. In fact, I had some professors say, and I'm very sure that Gazdi will survive. We will work side by side, hands in hands with SESDEV and other related organizations to ensure that we survive and we also excel in our mission. We all have a duty, and I want to plead with you, let us ensure that this baby survives. I know that Wale is going to give a vote of thanks, but from the bottom of my heart, I want to appreciate all those who have worked with us on this project. Not just Wale, there are some invisible hands, invisible eyes, invisible ears who have supported us to get us this far. Virtually every professor in this university has played one and for the members of management of this university. I want to thank them.
All right. Jokes just ran away from me. I wish I can just use that for 30 minutes. People can laugh their head off. But Mr. Detimiri is so time conscious. I'm sure if maybe in life before he was a military man, or maybe in post life he will be a military man. You know the soldiers when they do their things, bang, 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 both of them, sir.
I had thought somebody should do the vote of thanks, but the Vice Chancellor insisted that it's my job to do. And first let me say something about him. He's a taskmaster, okay? Yeah, yes, and I hope one day you will repent. I would like to thank the governor who, for security issues, not anything serious, they had to discuss security issues in Ibadan. And he planned to come, he was unavoidably absent, but he sent his representative. We thank the deputy governor, the head of service who was here and also participated in a number of the sessions. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, who could not be here, but they also gave us support, and also a member of the House of Assembly who took time off to come here. Thank the Commissioner of Police who also was represented here, the Director of the Civil Defense Corps, the members of the press, in particular Rev FM, they created time for us for me to address the public on Monday. I want to particularly thank our royal fathers. We have 3 royal fathers, 2 are still here. I think Oba Bolari just stepped out, but let me say that these royal fathers, in my opinion, I spoke with them on the phone, I interacted with them, completely humble. Using sir for me on the phone and all of that, you know. Totally humble, the way they address me, they are not full of themselves, they are bowing down as if I'm the KPAC and they are the subject, and thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. Still seated there is our royal father, Oba Dr. Adekoya. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all staff and students of UNIOSUN. Time will not permit me to begin to recognize provosts and heads and things. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. Without, and you know how you have helped us, without that we would not be successful as we have been today. So thank you. And to our students as well, I think our teachers here should extend our appreciation to our students who are not here right now, but many students are still here. I want to, in particular, thank our resource persons. I want to thank Professor Obi Aginam. You know, when we were exchanging emails after the Vice Chancellor handed over things to me, he sent me a mail and he said, Professor Adetimiri, can we remove this professor and address ourselves by first name? And I said, fantastic, that's what I love. Thank you so much, Obi. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to thank our lead speakers, 10 in all. I want to thank our discussants that have come from far and near, 23 of them in all. I want to thank our rapporteurs who we had meetings with, they worked tirelessly, they supported one another, they covered up for one another. I want to thank the management of UNIOSUN for the support that we received. We have not asked that people should pay to come and be part of this. We had issues, what are we going to get in return and all of that. But our commitment to our community, to the world, to a new world order is beyond what we will get. And therefore, They provided all the resources to make it possible. So I want to thank the management of UNIOSUN, everyone, the VC, the bursar, the registrar for supporting us. Thank you so very much, sir. I want to thank members of the planning committee of the symposium. We had meetings upon meetings upon meetings. We have a platform that is WhatsApp. We're exchanging information morning, day, night. We put things there, they respond, and I have enjoyed working with all of you, and I say thank you. I want to thank our ushers. They did wonderfully well. I so much appreciate, what they have brought on board to make sure that we are well seated. They are running up and down to make sure that everything that we want done, we got them done as we would like to get them done. And finally, all of you who have come, I thank you, because without you, we will not have, this successful program. And finally, I want to thank my boss and my friend, Professor Labo de Popola, for believing in me, for begging me and begging me and begging me to leave what I was doing in Ibadan to come here. Also for not making my any easier. Maybe I think one of the reasons why I didn't want for me to become persuaded. And I thank him, because without the persuasion and without coming here, I would not have met all the wonderful people that I met and worked with. And I can see some of them in the crowd. We work as members of the ITRF. We will travel in my car, go to Ejigo, we go to restaurants to eat. We were working morning, night, day. These were fantastic people. They are wonderful people in this university, and I'm privileged to have been able to have some time to work with them. Thank you so very much, all of you. So the Vice Chancellor, my job is done. I thank you so very much. You're the driver, the visionary, and everything we have done, you've given the direction and the lead, and we have just assisted you to make this possible. But we are taking charge, and this institute will not only survive and stay, it will thrive beyond your expectation. Thank you so very much, sir. Now, they said there's protocol, but I want to break protocol and thank Professor Alao, who's here. He said he's a member of the governing council, but I must tell you, it was in East Africa, and he called from Kenya, and we spoke. And he had to fly back to London, got there in the morning, and left London in the evening to be here. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Obi is going back. He will be returning to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and he's here till tomorrow. He's with us. I think we want to appreciate him for accepting to give a keynote, for putting us in his very, 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 very tight schedule. He left Kuala Lumpur, he went to South Africa, and from South Africa he came here. All of them gave something up. So thank you so very much. We have something for you. I want to call on Professor Akimusi to assist us to make a presentation to our keynote speaker, Professor Obi Hagina. Please, ma'am.
On behalf of the governing council of this university, the management team, all staff and students of Osun State University, we make this little presentation. It is just a token. We cannot repay you for what you have done in the past few days and what you have promised to do. Just accept this token on behalf of all of us. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you abundantly and your family.
See, in our culture, when you want to know whether God accepted what you have done or not, you don't have to go far. And the heavens open up. Don't go far. Don't go anywhere. This is a clear sign. I'm just being told that the blessing of God is so huge, humongous, that if we stay too long, we will be feeling the presence of some water in this part of the auditorium. God is good. We won't run. Like one of my teachers will say, we are not salt, and we will not melt in any kind of water. It's time we started, we have to close. I'd like to call on a member of the governing council who has been with us and is still with us to close this 2-day symposium for now. Professor Biodun Alao.
Well, yes. Circumstances have ways of catapulting people to perform roles that they are grossly inadequate to perform. The good thing is that reality has a way of reducing them back to size the moment they perform such a function. Well, on behalf of the chairman of the Governing Council, Malam Yusuf Oladu Ali SAN, it is my pleasure again to thank everyone here, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I now declare this symposium closed. Thank you very much.
A couple of announcements. All participants, we appreciate you. If you notice there was no tea break, we deliberately made it so. Because yesterday people said we should go to our roots. We are going to have Ogi and Akara this afternoon. He said it's okay. Your lunch will be served here. Everybody in this auditorium.